Hello, welcome back Chelsea fans to CFC Forever, and today I will be doing a match review. Wolves 1, Chelsea 0. A very frustrating match from our point of view, and not only we didn't get the right score that we all hoped for, we also didn't get the right performance to go with it. So really disappointing stuff from the lads, but it is what it is at the moment, and I will be breaking down the match as it went. Basically, we couldn't really create anything throughout the match. We couldn't get the ball into the last third. It's something which has been pretty much the main theme of the season since the beginning of the season under Tuchel. And unfortunately, even under Lampard, nothing really has changed. And so let's talk about the players and also give them the match ratings. Starting at goal, we've got Kepa Arrizabalaga. Many assume that Edouard Mendy will be starting instead of Kepa, just because he was the number one choice under Lampard in his previous spell as Chelsea manager. However, Lamps has chosen Kepa, and I'm totally on board with that. I think that both keepers are not perfect. They both have some glaring issues. For instance, Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps conceding goals from distance, and Mendy his dribbling woes, just losing the ball in a really weird fashion and giving goals away. So both of them were kind of weak at times, but I still think Kepa is the better choice between the sticks, so I'm totally on board with Lamps choosing Kepa. I would give Kepa a 6 rating out of 10. I think he was okay. I think the goal we have conceded was a really brilliant strike that not many keepers, if any at all, would have saved. So 6 for Kepa Arrizabalaga. At right back we had the brilliant Reece James, in my opinion one of the best two players at Chelsea at the moment, the other one being Enzo Fernandez, and Reece James gets an 8 from me. He was brilliant as always fighting, winning tackles, his marking was on target, like everything was amazing with Reece James' game. So definitely an 8 performance. He was possibly the best player on the pitch for Chelsea yesterday. At left back we've got Cucurella, and not many words can be said about Cucurella since Tuchel bought him for 60 million quid or whatever the hell it was. Just a terrible acquisition, and he wasn't even so great playing for Brighton and Hove Albion, and definitely not great playing for us either. Cucurella should not start any games for Chelsea in my opinion. He can still be kept in the roster since we sometimes need subs, but I don't think it's a wise choice to start Cucurella any time ever. And perhaps Lamp's thinking was that he wanted to conserve the energies of Ben Chilwell for the match against Real Madrid in the Champions League, but he still should have started Chilwell instead of Cucurella. So Cucurella gets like a 5 for me, and it's even a generous rating. At the half defense, we actually had a really solid defense effort, I thought, from Fofana and from Koulibaly. I thought they were both really good. Both of them had some brilliant interceptions and last-ditch tackles. The scoreline could have been much different had they not intervened the way they have. So definitely could have been 2-0, 3-0 for Wolves, but they were really solid, on point. So I think Fofana gets a 7 from me and Koulibaly an 8. And I'm very happy with the performance yesterday. So actually I think, despite what some people may think, we actually have a really good defense at the moment. Very solid. The only issue is, as mentioned, Cucurella. Then in midfield we had the 3 midfielders, the 3 musketeers if you like, the musketeers who cannot fight. We had Conor Gallagher, and Gallagher tried to make something happen, tried to win balls, tried to win tackles and to make something happen, but couldn't really make it happen. And we saw that he just lacked the final third pass, killer pass for making something happen, creating a goal opportunity or even scoring himself. So not for lack of effort, but more like things just did not go his way, and we're all still hopeful that Conor Gallagher would come through eventually as a brilliant player for Chelsea FC, but it's just not happening at the moment. Let's just hope for the best, because we did see him playing at Crystal Palace. He was quite brilliant, wasn't he? He was scoring goals, distributing assists, and for some reason he just could not recreate this magic playing for Chelsea. So let's just keep hoping and just see in the future what happens. Then we had Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic wasn't bad yesterday, but it wasn't good either. Again, much like Gallagher, he also lacked the ability to provide that final killer pass through ball that would create a goal scoring opportunity for Chelsea's attack, if we can call it that. And we're going to get to that in a moment. So yeah, I think he would get a 6 from me. He wasn't that brilliant. And Gallagher, 6 as well. Enzo Fernandez, a little bit better, so I'm going to give him a 7. At least on the defensive end, he was really good. So yeah, a 7 for Enzo Fernandez. He's a good, solid player. He's pretty consistent. I'm very happy that we have him playing for the Blues. In attack, now this is a big word here now to be using, because we don't really have an attack, do we? I mean, so many teams have 1, 2, 3 brilliant strikers or forwards. We don't have even one. And I totally, unlike so many other channels, here we say things as they are. I totally hold Thomas Tuchel accountable for this mishap, because he started the season without a striker, with just Armando Broja, who had this terrible, horrific injury. But even if he wouldn't, he's nowhere near ready for Premier League football. So definitely not the right man to lead the attack for Chelsea FC. And Kai Havertz is not a freaking striker, and everybody keeps playing Havertz all the time. We saw that under Tuchel, and under Potter, and now under Lampard. Everybody insists on playing him. Don't play Kai Havertz in attack. Don't play him in midfield either. As far as I'm concerned, Kai Havertz should be sold. He's not a midfielder. He's not a winger. He's not a striker. I don't know what the F he is. I really don't know, because we just don't see him shine consistently at any position. He was brilliant against Borussia Dortmund when we won 2-0, but that was like a once in a, not going to say blue moon, but maybe in the 10 performance. Like every 10 matches, perhaps it's going to provide us with one good performance, and the rest is going to be pretty bad. So definitely, I don't think Kai Havertz should start matches for Chelsea. I would rather opt for Aubameyang, as disappointing he has been so far, and he's like our best choice, I suppose, at the moment. So just might as well play Aubameyang in the heart of attack. Then we had Raheem Sterling. I'm a huge Raheem Sterling fan since the days when he was playing for Manchester City. I love Sterling. I love his dribbling abilities, his goal scoring abilities, but for some reason yesterday he was woeful and couldn't get anything going either. And yeah, I mean, we saw the subs weren't brilliant either. But before we talk about the subs, let's talk about João Felix. Many have touted him as great talent, and we should sign him because now he's on a loan at Chelsea. We should sign him on a permanent deal. No, we don't need to do that. João Felix is not at the level of Chelsea. He should not play for Chelsea FC. He can not really score goals. I know he has scored like 1 or 2 this campaign, but he's not a goal scorer. He's not really good at passing those really important passes at the final third of the pitch. So what is he's not really contributing enough. So as far as attackers go, I would give all 3 of them a 6, just because they tried, but pretty woeful defense from the Chelsea attack, if we can call it that. And yeah, the subs, no one to mention really. I mean, okay, Chalobah, Pulisic, I mean, nobody, even Chilwell, nobody could really make any sort of impact. It was a terrible performance, and it's one of those things when we have a team that has been assembled incorrectly by Thomas Tuchel. And I know many people are fans fanboys of Thomas Tuchel for some reason. Yeah, he did win the Champions League, but hey, we haven't been performing well under Thomas Tuchel since the season started. People seem to forget that. They lost to Dinamo Zagreb 1-0. They lost to Leeds United. Freaking Leeds United. We lost 3-0 to them. People have some sort of preference to just remember the good things, don't remember the bad things. He is not the right brain, if you'd like to, brainiac, if you like to use that word, to assemble a team, because he just really failed to assemble a good team at Chelsea. That's my opinion. And so as much as I appreciate his contribution when he did manage us in the first season, he got us a top 4. Okay, so Lampard got us top 4. He got us a Champions League, which was a good achievement, but let's face it, winning a tournament involves a lot of luck, and a testimony to that would be Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. I've never won the Champions League, and Pep Guardiola is, I think, the best manager in the world, or at least top 3 if you'd like to be more picky. But for sure he's a world-class manager, and he hasn't won Man City, so we've got all the best players, all the money in the world, the best manager, or top 3 at least in the world, yet they haven't won the Champions League. Why? Because it involves a lot of luck. So Thomas Tuchel did win the Champions League, but he's not as good as people think. Also, Thomas Tuchel's point per game average is actually pretty much the same as any manager who has been signed since the Roman Abramovich empire started when he bought the team. So all the Scolaris, the Grants, the Matteos, you pull them all together, you get one number which is an average points per game. You get 1.997, because I actually calculated it, because I'm sick like that, in that way, of liking statistics. 1.997 for all managers signed under Roman Abramovich, and since then, so also the recent times under Todd Bowley. And so what's Tuchel's average? 2.04, I believe, or 2.3, something like that. So just like 2% better than the average. So pretty much you could say it's an average performance. Tuchel is not a brilliant manager as people think. He's a good manager. He's not great, and I'm happy that he left Chelsea. And I know this is an unpopular opinion, because there's this herd thinking nowadays going on. You go on Twitter, everybody's like saying, oh, where's Thomas Tuchel? Why is he not our manager anymore? Well, he's not good enough for Chelsea, and I'm happy to see him gone. Okay? And then Graham Potter didn't get the right chance to manage Chelsea for long enough, because Chelsea wasn't set up correctly by Tuchel. So that's why I still backed Graham Potter when he was manager of Chelsea. I still think it was a big mistake to let Graham Potter go. And now signing Lampard as the interim manager, like, do you really think he's gonna create some kind of, I don't know, magic without having the right materials in his hands? I mean, he's not like some kind of a god that he can create something out of nothing, is he? If he doesn't have the right players, we don't have strikers. We don't have one good striker. We are Chelsea FC. We are one of the best teams in England and the world. And we start the season, and we're still now ending the same freaking season without one striker. It's amazing. It's incredible. Like, who have we got? Aubameyang, 33 years old. And you can see that. You can see his movement. He's just past his prime. And he had allegedly many mental issues and getting along with other players at Arsenal. He's not the solution for our woes. Still, I would play him ahead of Havertz anytime. But we don't have a striker, guys. We don't have a striker, and we don't have a left back. I mean, we have Chilwell, but Cucurella is not a left back. So when Chilwell is injured, we don't have a left back. When Chilwell is playing, we do have a very good one, but unfortunately he's been injured many times and for far too long. We do need a proper cover there as well. And between Conor Gallagher, Kovacic hasn't been playing as well as last season. We are missing the right personnel to make things happen. It's not about Lampard, it's not about Potter. It's about the preparation for the season from Thomas Tuchel, in my opinion. And the fact that then the management went on to spend this incredible amount of money, like 600 mil, whatever it was, on players which are either a promise for the future, one day they're going to come good, or players which are not good enough to play for the club. And an example for a promise for the future would be Mudryk. Mikhail Mudryk is super speedy. One day he can become a great player. Right now he isn't. So at the moment I don't see Madueke or the other guys really leaving an impact at Chelsea, playing for Chelsea. And one player, the only player I think who is really brilliant, is Enzo Fernandez. He's the right one and only signing that we made. So there's just not the right personnel for us to succeed. So people think Lamps is going to come in, create some kind of magic. It's not going to happen. And as much as I love Frank Lampard to death, I really love him because he played for us for 13 years, club legend, broke all the records, bleeds blue, is an amazing player, an amazing person as well. I love Frank Lampard. I mean, I think most of us do as Chelsea supporters. But as much as I love the guy, is he really someone who could solve our issues overnight without the right players? As good as he would be, which we all know he failed at Everton as well. So, no, that's not the answer to our problems, and we need to, first of all, rebuild the team. We need to rebuild the roster. So with that said, a very disappointing match from the boys yesterday. Wolves won, Chelsea nil, and just disappointed, gutted to be honest. I was watching the match yesterday. First half I thought was really bad. Then second half I was kind of like getting ready to see something else, and we did show some flickers of some good moments of hopeful movement and pressure on our opponents, but we didn't see anything tangible. It was pretty disappointing from the guys, and it was just one of those matches we just want to tuck away in our memory to some forgotten corner and just never have to remember that match ever again. So that said, we do have Real Madrid at the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and Chelsea is one of those clubs. They can play really terrible and suddenly can play really well. I hope that's going to be the case, but we're still going to be without a proper striker. So can we win the Champions League without a striker? Probably not. Going to see what happens. Until then, I just wanted to give my perspective, which I think is a very unique perspective among all the Chelsea fandom channels out there. People are missing the point that we don't have the right players, and the way Tuchel has set us up so far has been very bad. He set us up for failure. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you didn't like this video, please leave a like. It does help the video's popularity ranking higher on YouTube via the algorithm. So thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, keep the blue flag flying high. Cheers, bye.